This is the youngest car in the collection. This was built in the Berthold plant right outside of Philadelphia.
With my high starched collar and my high top shoes and my hair piled high upon my head, I went to lose a jolly hour on the trolley and lost my heart instead. With his light brown derby and his bright green tie, he was quite the handsomest of men.
Okay, now this is called a PCC, President's Conference Car, because in about 1926, the presidents of the owners of trolley lines and the presidents of the builders of the trolleys got together and decided to fund 600 grand, oh, is it 600 grand? 400 grand of research. And in 1926, that's a lot of money.
I started to yell, so I counted to 10. Then I counted to 10 again. Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Zing, zing, zing went my heartstrings. From the moment I saw him, I fell. Chug, chug, chug went the motor. Bump, bump, bump went the brake. Thump, thump, thump went my heartstrings. When he smiled, I could feel the car shake.
Okay, now come with me. Take your time. We got plenty of time.
He tipped his head and took a seat. He said he hoped he hadn't stepped upon my feet. He asked my name, I held my breath. I couldn't speak because he scared me half to death. Buzz, buzz, buzz went the buzzer. Plop, plop, plop went the wheels. Stop, stop, stop went my heartstrings. As it started to go, then I started to know how it feels when the universe reels.
This is the oldest piece, 1899, built by the McGuire Company right outside of Chicago. When snow would come, the sweepers would have their own routes to follow. They would send out a sweeper right away, followed by regular cars, and as long as the snow came down, they just kept going, kept the lines open. Very clever.
Buzz, buzz, buzz went the buzzer. Plop, plop, plop went the wheels. Stop, stop, stop went my heartstrings.
This came as one of 15 narrow gauge cars with Portland traction in 1932 from Brill, Philadelphia.
As he started to leave, I took hold of his sleeve with my hand, as if it were
started to work on the floor. Now, linoleum is put on, and it's put on with a tar. So after we got about 2 feet of the flooring off, Dr. Philpott, who was the boss on this, and I decided, why don't we put wall-to-wall carpet in? So we did. And the next Monday, I came down on a Saturday, and the carpet man was here. He put the carpet in, and I paid him by check because I was still the treasurer. And Monday morning, I got here, and the car had a sign in front of the door. Take shoes off before entering car.
I got a pocket full nickels and dimes, and I'm headed down to the quarter. We're gonna take the St. Charles line. Me and my gal will get off the canal and we'll walk on up to the river. Clackety, clackety, ding, ding, ding. That's the sound of the streetcar. Clackety, clackety, ding, ding, ding. And I'm riding along with my sweetheart.
They called these cars the Council Crest cars because they ran the Council Crest. This was given, the body, when Portland Traction went out of business, was given to a Boy Scout group who then donated it to us.
Now we're headed down the tracks. Through the open windows come the breeze and the sun. We pass another car headed back, and the people we meet on the wooden seats know that getting there is half the fun. Clackety, clackety, ding, ding, ding. That's the sound of the streetcar. Clackety, clack.
Turn around and look at this. This beauty is ready to go. All we have to do is to put the trolley pole up. Now, this painting right here was done by Harold Townsend. He was running it one day. Harold was running it. And he was coming down the right away, working away there. And a little boy ran down right beside him and yelled, "There's a big bug up there!" And Harold didn't say a word, just kept his eyes on the road and said, "Oh, does he have a ticket?"
Clackety, clackety, ding, ding, ding. And I'm riding along with my sweetheart. I'm the king and she's the queen of our own parade. May not dress like royalty, but everyone knows that we don't have throws, and all we have to do is wait. We don't need gasoline, 'cause we've got our own driver in our green limousine.
These next 3 cars are all narrow gauge, 3'6" between the rails, as opposed to standard gauge, which is 4 foot 8.5 inches. Here's a picture up on Council Crest. It's a Warren Wing picture. Here's a guy that's working a shift, and I don't remember them ever having any female operators, but that's all he's got to sit on, 10 to 12 hours.
Oh, my baby and me make electricity like the kind that runs through the wire. Clackety, clackety, ding, ding, ding. That's the sound of the streetcar. Clackety, clackety, ding, ding, ding. And I'm riding along with my sweetheart. Clackety, clackety, ding, ding, ding. That's the sound of the streetcar. Clackety, clackety, ding, ding, ding. And I'm riding along with my sweetheart.
from Oporto, the port. They got cars from Brill about 1905 or so, and then in 1920 they started to build some of their own. We are pretty sure this is one of their own builds. And when they did, they redesigned this vestibule and lengthened it so they could put these stanchions in. When you put the stanchions in, you get 6 more, maybe 8 more standees on each end. Pretty clever. This came from Hong Kong, and it was one of Bill NATO's collection. Bill NATO was one of the moving factors in getting rail back into Portland. I'll tell you a story. I needed a letter of support for a grant. So I called him. And the next day I got a call back, "What can I do for you?" And I told him, and I did get a letter and I got a grant. I didn't know it. He was on his deathbed in the hospital. And here's a man that would take the time to call me back to ask what he could do for me. And he knew he had only about 8 days to go. So when he died, we asked his brother Sam for this. Sam was explaining about Bill. He said, you know, this is at his memorial service, which Bill designed himself because he knew he was going to die soon. He said, Bill was pretty careful. We have a minister, a priest, and a rabbi here. He wasn't taking any chances.